It's recruiting time. National Signing Day is Wednesday. Ohio State has a bunch of dudes. They're ranked high. We're being vague because, stuff might have happened between the time we recorded this and the time you're seeing it. Recruiting, teenagers. Steven, what are we thinking about this Ohio State class?
I'm interested to see what happens to some of these secondary commits that they have in the class. They've got 5 commits, and Ryan Day said on Monday that he expects all 5 to sign on Wednesday. But Jeff Hafley leaving for Boston College might change that. A few have come out and said on Twitter, hey, I'm still planning on signing on Wednesday, but there are some guys that no one's heard of. Some guys have taken some official visits, what they were going to take anyway, but now with Hafley leaving, now we got to pay a little bit more attention because it might not just be for show anymore. So I'm interested to see just how many of these guys actually end up signing on Wednesday in that secondary group, now that the guy that was our main recruiter through this entire cycle is no longer on this team.
What's your recruiting talk?
Recruiting talk. I want to see what happens with this offensive line group. Obviously, Paris Johnson being the big guy, literally the big guy, but also the big stars guy that they're bringing in to sort of headline this class. And a lot of this offensive line, we've talked before on Buckeye Talk about the 3 stars that Ryan Day is kind of populating this class with or rounding out this class with. And a lot of those guys are on the offensive line too, just kind of depth pieces. But that doesn't mean, A, those guys can't be important contributors over 4 or 5 years, probably 5 years in a program like this, but also that they can't grow into something more. And we don't know who is immediately leaving this program from among the offensive line. We know that Brandon Bowen is. We know that Jonah Jackson is, but we know that there's some other younger guys that are going to have opportunities. And if those guys get pulled away, all of a sudden depth becomes an issue with this offensive line. So there's going to be some guys in this group that are going to have to contribute really quickly.
So they got to figure out what quarterbacks they're getting in this class. Jack Miller's committed. They're still trying to get C.J. Stroud. Ryan Day on Monday said, I don't know if we're going to get 2. They would like to get 2. Chugs is out. This is his last year. So at the moment, the scholarship quarterbacks who are assured to be here in 2020 are Justin Fields and Gunnar Hoke. Jack Miller is committed. They would like to get C.J. Stroud, but Ryan Day says they always want 4 scholarship guys in that room, at least 3. So we have to see who ends up signing on Wednesday, and if they only get one of those guys, then they're going to have to go get another scholarship guy somewhere else. And it's just not the plan that you go out and chase guys like Chris Chuganoff and Gunnar Hoke and guys like that, because that's never the plan to play them. If you're chasing Justin Fields, great. But they do need to, is re-beef a word? Re-beef up the quarterback room? Re-beef it. They need to re-beef up the quarterback room, and this signing day is a big part of that, but it is very likely to me that they probably won't end up with 2. If they do, good for them. But they won't get 2 in this class, and then if they don't, they're going to have to go look for a solution in the transfer portal or junior college or a grad transfer pretty quickly, because I think they want 4 scholarship guys in that group. So a lot of times you end up chasing in quarterbacks now. I think that's going to be the norm, is to chase that. But I think it gives coaches a knot in there, especially a head coach who's a quarterback guy like Ryan Day. It gives you a knot in your stomach a little bit until you know what that room looks like. Nathan, Steven, Doug, Wednesdays, they're going to have a lot of coverage. Ohio State's going to have a news conference. They're going to be able to talk about all these signees by name and really evaluate them for the first time. That's such a big deal that you're going to hear Ryan Day say why he thinks Paris Johnson is awesome and why he thinks Julian Fleming and Luke Whippler and all these guys are awesome. So make sure you're locked in all day Wednesday at cleveland.com.